When the bell rings, the real conversation begins. Welcome to the Bell Call Podcast, your home for smart, no-nonsense discussion on the world of professional wrestling. Hosted by Michael and Noah. This is where the headlines, reviews, and rumors get broken down without the noise. From weekly shows to breaking news, match analysis, and what's really happening behind the curtain. If you want a thoughtful look at pro wrestling, not the hot takes, you're in the right place. This is the Bell Call Podcast.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and we are live. Welcome to episode 14 of the Bell Call Podcast. And of course, I'm not alone. You all know my co-host here, my co-host in crime for this show, Noah Kaser. Noah, how you doing, man?
I'm very well. How are you guys doing today? Are you ready for Chamber? Because we certainly aren't.
No, we aren't looking forward to Chamber tomorrow, and we will get into that. We also have news that came out yesterday where AJ Styles has now resigned with WWE, and it's official his retirement. It was official. He's not going to be competing anymore. And of course, on Monday on Raw, we had the whole AJ Styles tribute, which I thought that was the only best part of the show. that was the only best part of Raw on Monday.
Exactly.
Because he gave a good speech, which I thought was very good and interesting. Of course, he had his family sitting out there ringside. A lot of people from the roster came out there to show their respect to AJ. Mm-hmm. And then you had a surprise where The Undertaker came out in his American Badass gimmick, which I like his American Badass gimmick. Like, in my opinion, when I started getting into wrestling, The Undertaker's American Badass gimmick was the gimmick that I always associated The Undertaker with. Of course, really love the Dead Man gimmick. That's probably his most famous gimmick, aside from his American Badass gimmick that he had. I just liked him coming out with the motorcycle, just riding around the ring. And he came out there on Raw and told AJ Styles that he's going to be inducted into the 2026 WWE Hall of Fame during WrestleMania weekend. And this is the second inductee, because we only had Stephanie McMahon as the first inductee. So it took a year or so, or a few months to have the second inductee be inducted.
Yeah, I think that they announced Stephanie at WrestlePalooza.
Yes.
And then they waited for this. My issue with this is they're not making the Hall of Fame as special as it used to be, because it seemed like every week or every couple of weeks after the Rumble, you would, that Monday, literally the Monday after the Rumble, you announce that first inductee the next Monday. Or you skip a week and you go to SmackDown, and then they announce something there. Now it just seems like they're just keeping it under wraps and they want to do it on screen, which that's fine.
That's fine.
My thing is you need to actually put people in there who are deserving. AJ Styles is deserving. Steph is deserving for all that she's done with the company and for the company. 100% deserving. You're not making it a big deal for me to want to stay up at 10 to 11 o'clock at night on the Eastern time to watch this live, because I certainly didn't last year.
Yeah.
I watched it after the fact.
Yeah, it goes on till after 1 a.m. it ended.
Yeah, I think the whole thing went for 2.5, 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, you're just sitting there. I was done asleep. I was asleep by midnight. I didn't even worry about watching it live, because why am I going to watch it live if I'm just going to fall asleep? I'd rather watch it in the afternoon or in the evening when I get home from work, when I don't have anything to do. It's just right there. It's on. AJ's going to have some good stories. Stephanie's going to have a lot of good stories. I know she's going to be very sheltered with what she can say because of how her father has been and what her father has done the past couple of years, and now all that's been fully revealed. I think that she's going to be she is the headliner. I think that's wrong. I think that Styles should be the headliner because he is the bigger name. Not that he's been in it longer than Stephanie has, because she was literally born into the family of professional wrestling and the WWF.
And
but
it makes sense.
Styles has been here, there, and everywhere. Multiple companies, multiple championships, multiple factions. Everybody knows his name. You look at Stephanie McMahon, you're like, I know the McMahon family, and that's a bad thing. But we'll just see what else they do. I'm not looking forward to the Hall of Fame because they're not putting a lot of faith in it, and they're not shoving it down our throats like they used to, which is nice.
Because I feel like they ran out of people to induct. I feel like. So we're just
I would agree.
So we're just throwing out like random superstars to put in the Hall of Fame. Like the Bellas are in the Hall of Fame. I'm like,
what? Well, I mean, they were the start of the women's revolution. They were the start of it. So I fully get it. They got us into the portion with a Charlotte, a Paige, a Becky, a AJ Lee. They were the ones who kind of went, okay, give divas a chance. And they were at the forefront because at the time, Nikki was the women's championship. She was the Divas champion. So I get why they're in there. But also going back to like 2016, when Nikki turned on Brie, that got millions of views every week. Everybody was watching to see what Nikki was going to have Brie do and everything with that. But I get it. I think there's plenty of other people they can do, but they're just waiting. I mean, like Orton said on the Cody Rhodes his show
podcast.
I don't want to go in there while I'm still active because he doesn't want to happen what's happening with Ray. Ray is in the Hall of Fame now, and it's been injury after injury after injury after injury. It seems like every big show he's out. He just got injured again at the Royal Rumble. So when he literally just came back a month ago. So Orton said he wants to be fully done. That's the last thing he has to do. And then he's just fully done with it.
And I don't blame him.
I think there's plenty of other ones you can do. I mean, there's Miz, there's Wade Barrett, there's R-Truth, there's Michael Cole is definitely up there. I have a feeling that at some point we are just going to get like a road dog. Road dog. If Billy Gunn ever does leave AEW, we might get a Billy Gunn. We can have Jeff and Matt Hardy singular. That would be plenty of stories there. I think there's plenty of people, but they're just kind of not trying to step on any toes and ruin a partnership. And they're just waiting because now they mostly got women.
Yeah.
And the names that you could do, I mean, they're either gone, so they can't speak, and it's hard to get a hold of their family because if Vince fucked them over, they have a bad taste in their mouth of what they are. But
yeah, or they want to come back to the company.
I think there's plenty of people you could do, but then again, there's not a lot of people that's sitting there to watch a Stacy Keibler speech. You're mostly there to watch a Rey Mysterio speech, a Paul Heyman speech, a Stephanie McMahon, a John Cena, Undertaker. You're there for the headliners, and you're kind of just sat there because you paid for your ticket to see this. And
plus, you're sitting there after SmackDown.
Exactly.
Which is, well, last year was 2 hours, but this year we're back to SmackDown being 3 hours. So you add the 3 hours, and then you have maybe
1 hour pre-show. It's
1 hour pre-show.
So it is going to be midnight Eastern time on Saturday morning before it even starts live here. And I don't think a lot of people are going to stay up to watch the Hall of Fame live unless you are on
West Coast.
On the West Coast. On maybe Central time, maybe Mountain Time, but not Eastern Time. That's way too late for me, anyways. For me, I usually stay up until like 12:30. But if I'm watching Hall of Fame, I'm watching the whole thing and I'm wide awake, not falling asleep during it.
Or unless WWE could do this, where you have the Hall of Fame go on first, and then lead into SmackDown.
Could
that would be much better.
Could, but I think they don't want to set everything up right before they go live, because if there's a technical thing wrong with it, then the Hall of Fame's ruined. With SmackDown, at least the ring is set up, and all you have to do is tear the ropes down and put some chairs down. That's basically it. And I think that's fine, but at least you have a pre-show to get everybody ready. There's a red carpet there, and the people who aren't on the show are fine.
Yeah, they're present.
And at that point, yes, you're there for the night before Mania, but I think you're mostly there for Hall of Fame. Everybody who was at the Hall of Fame last year was there for the Hall of Fame, not SmackDown. Because it was in a different. It wasn't in the SmackDown arena. I don't think it was. I think it was on like an actual stage or something.
It was on an actual stage, like in the early 2000s, like WrestleMania 21 weekend. It was on the stage.
Yeah, and what they've been doing, it was a lot easier to just tear the ropes down and have them walk down to the ring with their theme song, which. That's fine, but the Hall of Fame is going to be a good show anyways. It's always good fun, but
to see what the next inductees are going to be, because we only have 2 so far.
What I'm hoping is they don't do the same thing of them being at ringside, at the Chamber, or at a Raw, at a SmackDown, at an NXT, and Undertaker comes out.
That'll take away like the experience, maybe.
Yeah. Now
them going in.
There's only a couple people that you could actually go, you're going in the Hall of Fame, and the Undertaker comes out. That's how they're going to do it. But it's just who's going to induct them, who's going to put Stephanie in. There's plenty of people, and who's going to even be allowed there, because her mom's going to be allowed there. Is her brother going to be given a seat on stage, or is he going to have to pay money like he did earlier this year to have a seat?
Yeah.
Because her father definitely isn't going to be there.
It's probably going to be Hunter.
Maybe Hunter. I think that you could also do Trish, because Trish was her biggest rival. If Test was still here, Test might too. But I don't think that there's anybody else who really could do it right now, besides either Hunter or Trish.
The only one that's on my mind is Hunter, because that's his wife.
Yep. But let's head into the Elimination Chamber predictions.
Yeah. Our buddy Luke is in here.
What's up?
What's up, man? So yeah, we're into Elimination Chamber predictions. We have 4 matches on the card, and I gotta say, I think we both could agree on this. This build for Elimination Chamber has been absolutely awful.
Awful.
It's supposed to feel like we're on the road to WrestleMania, and it doesn't even feel like it.
This feels like I'm on the road to stomping grounds more than anything else. Quite literally on the road to stomping grounds.
Yeah, after a horrible Royal Rumble that we had.
Which speaking of which, before we get into these, you didn't get to watch the Rumble live, right?
I didn't get to watch the Rumble live, but I did see the results.
I did. I got to see it live. You ready for this? The stream fucking sucked. That sucked because we were watching it and then it would freeze. Then it would come back at the exact moment and then it would cut away. And it seemed like after every match, the bell would ring, they'd be walking up the ramp and an ad would play and then buffer. buffer. It seems like everybody was going to take a pee break. And I'm
Oh.
sorry, I've never had that happen on a YouTube or Peacock show. It's mostly just ESPN.
Or hell, even the WWE Network when it was still there.
Exactly.
Even though the
that-
WWE Network, when it first launched, it had a few buffering issues.
Yep.
But at least they worked it out.
And they fixed it. With a company big like ESPN, with all the sports that they are live, you would think that there would be a really easy fix for them to do. I mean, my God, with Monday Night Football, NBA, MLB, hockey, college football, all the live stuff that they do, they should have an easy fix for that and not let their servers be overloaded. Because if you're paying $30 a month, I'm not paying.
I don't pay for that. I don't pay for ESPN too. I get it free through my cable provider.
Me too. I get it for free. If I was paying, I'd be a little more pissed off. But here's my thing. I could have been at work and had a better time watching the Royal Rumble than I did. I was literally sitting there and I was scrolling on my phone because the Women's Rumble was bad. It was pretty bad. We knew the surprise was going to be Brie Bella. You didn't do the thing by having AJ Lee come in. Sure, it was predictable. I had a feeling that Liv Morgan was going to win this. I had a good feeling. The Men's Rumble, I didn't watch it because I literally couldn't stand to sit there and watch the show.
And plus,
because of the buffering issues.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, plus the buffering issues, you're gonna be like, I've had it. I can't watch this no more.
That's literally what I did because I'm sitting there and then I'm seeing what's going on. And I'm scrolling through Facebook and I saw that Roman Reigns won. I'm like, who the fuck? Why the fuck does he need it? Why does he need it?
Yeah, I'm like, once again, Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble and now he's going to WrestleMania once again.
And Braun Breaker was screwed over and now he's out.
And now he's out with an injury.
And Seth's out. The only one you got is Logan Paul. You're not going to have a Vision storyline with just Logan Paul. And I heard
and you have Austin Theory as well.
Yeah.
You have Austin Theory as well.
And now apparently they're going to scrap the whole Masked Man gimmick because the people that they care about are injured. They're gone. So unless you bring it back later or you have that Masked Man just attacking random people, then that's fine. Keep doing that until Braun's back because Braun isn't going to be out for that long.
Yeah.
I would say bring him back, reveal it the night after Mania, the Monday night after Mania on Raw. But with the Rumble, I was excited for it because there was genuine intrigue. The build was decent.
To me, I was not excited for it because it's in Saudi Arabia. Mm-hmm. And we all know how these shows that they do in Saudi Arabia, they feel like house shows. And when I read the results, I'm like, yeah, this feels like total house show quality.
I wouldn't say it's a house show. I would just say that it's a TV show because I'm sitting there, I'm watching it. I don't care about anything. The way they screwed over Styles by having him do that was just stupid. That was a stupid way to end his career, the same way that they did it with John. The same way, the same person. But the chamber has been even more lackluster because now we know who's going to face Stephanie Vaquer at Mania.
Of course.
That was stupid because you wasted, 3-4 episodes of 2 of Raw, 2 of SmackDown?
Yeah, Liv Morgan just go out there and say, oh, well, I'm still deciding on who I will face. You know, I'm going to take my time and just choose who I want to face. And it took all this time just for what we got on Raw on Monday to reveal who she wants to face.
When in actuality, it would have been smarter if you gave me something like, oh, I don't know, let's have them do what they did with, say, like The Undertaker. The Undertaker in 2007 won the Rumble, had both had all three champions, Bobby Lashley, Cena, and Batista out there. You have them do that. That's what I would do. Or you just say, hey, I'm coming after you. Don't do this back and forth thing because it just pisses me off that I'm sitting there. I'm watching the show. I know who you're going to pick. Stop dilly-dallying around because you're not as intriguing as you think you are. This storyline is not intriguing. Stephanie Vaquer is one of the greatest wrestlers on the roster right now. Liv Morgan's really good as well. Dom is over on his own. But the storyline you're telling me is really stupid and it's boring.
Yeah, and obviously, you all know who is probably going to win that match, though. But yeah, let's jump right into the predictions here. Even though it feels like we're not even on the road to WrestleMania, that'll probably happen after the Chamber on Saturday, which I hope WWE does a good job in building towards WrestleMania, because if they don't, this is going to feel like the build to WrestleMania last year, where we did not even care. And it led to a mediocre WrestleMania in Vegas, where I couldn't even imagine sitting there, and that crowd for last year's WrestleMania was absolutely silent for parts of the show last year. So they better step up their game after the Chamber. So here is the card here. So we have the first match here, Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And we all got to say that this feud has been somewhat decent. I mean, AJ is there just as a part-timer, which that's fine. But we didn't see AJ at the Rumble, like you previously said. And last time we saw her was at Survivor Series, I think. So her coming back to face Becky here, I was like, yeah, they're still going to continue this feud with Becky and AJ. I think AJ is going to win that Women's Intercontinental Championship from Becky, and I think that's going to happen. I mean, Elimination Chamber is in Chicago from the United Center, which AEW has had their pay-per-views from there. I think this is the first time that WWE is having an event at the United Center since SummerSlam 1994.
Yeah.
So my prediction is AJ is going to win the Intercontinental Championship from Becky. It's in her hometown of Chicago. And as much as I would have loved to see this happen at Mania, have AJ win the title at Mania and give her WrestleMania moment, in a while. But I'm all right with this. I'm all right if AJ wins the Women's Intercontinental Championship on Saturday.
I'm going to disagree with you. I don't think that this build has been intriguing enough to have her win this here. I think you have Lynch keep the title here. Then that way Lynch can take a little time off after Mania, spend some time with Seth and her daughter, and then come back a few weeks later and then maybe have her turn babyface. I want Lynch back as a babyface because this whole heel gimmick has gotten her nowhere. This gimmick has gotten her no. She's doing a fantastic job. Don't get me wrong. She's doing a great job with this gimmick. But the storylines are telling her she's been in the same story with Punk and AJ for months now. And long-term storytelling used to be a strong suit of Hunter's. Now he overdraws it. It's overdrawn. It's gone on way too long. So I'm saying it's overdrawn and way too long for this feud. Why do I want it to be at WrestleMania? Well, because who are you going to put her up against that's going to make a difference? Who can AJ Lee go up against and make it a legit feud with just in a few short weeks of TV time? That makes sense. I think that Becky should keep this. Injure AJ and say that she's retired. Say she retired her. And then Mania comes around. Don't do it at Mania. Do it a couple weeks before Mania. Maybe 3 weeks. 3 weeks on Raw before Mania, you have AJ Lee do a surprise return, attack Becky, take the mic and say, you and me, WrestleMania, Las Vegas, bitch. That's what you do. Don't do a normal match. I want to see you get physical. Put in a no disqualification, a nose holds barred, a false count anywhere. Do anything. Do anything that makes it a little bit more violent.
Now, I like that idea.
Because
I really do.
I think you have to agree with me. Who is she going to go up against at Mania? What? AJ and Alexa Bliss? AJ and Charlotte? There's nobody that really makes sense right now until she wins the title. And to win the title at Chamber, which granted, it is in her hometown. They really like to do that stuff, but I think it would be better heat if Becky keeps it. It'd be a lot more heat, and it would make the storyline intriguing going into Mania after seeing her get screwed in her hometown. So right now, I'm going to go with Becky. Just because of that logic, I think it'd be better for us as fans. Yes, it's going to be very, very predictable. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be predictable. Just like Cena winning his 17th title last year was predictable. But you're watching it for the spectacle. You're watching it for the feel-good moment. And at Mania, you want to see that type of a feel-good moment and a big moment at Mania, not at the Chamber.
Yeah. See, I like your logic there. That's very spot on there. But yeah, that I would have to agree. Like, if they don't have AJ win at Chamber, I think they should go that route of what you described. Next is CM Punk versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, Finn Balor, like what he's doing. Him and CM Punk going at it again. It's going to be a very good match at the Chamber here. I think that Punk is going to retain the title. Finn Balor, to me, them, with the whole creative around Finn Balor, they got to make me believe that Balor deserves, an opportunity for the title and that he's in that right spot where he wins a championship. To me, it's not doing nothing for me. I think that they need to build Finn Balor up more and say to the fans, all right, he's ready. I think he's ready for a championship win here. I've gotten nothing of that because he's still in the Judgment Day. They're trying to, at points, break him away from the Judgment Day. Who knows when that's going to happen? But I think I'm
gonna piggyback off of that. I think that this build has been very good because of the match they had on Raw, very solid, with Punk actually giving Finn that big match on Raw. I think what should have happened is this, because they've been going at it pretty damn hard, really, really hard. I think you should have brought the Demon out.
I agree.
Balor's pissed off. He's pissed off. Nobody believes in him. Nobody believes that he can actually win a WWE championship again. Here's what I think they should have done, and here's what I think is going to happen. What they should have done is had Finn tease the Demon. The fans would have went nuts. We have his OG theme back. Why not come back with style? But since they're not doing that, either way, Punk was going to keep this because their mainstay is going to be Punk and Reigns again, without Rollins this time. What I think is going to happen, I'm going to spitball. Ready?
Okay.
If I'm right, give me residuals. Finn Balor screws over Dominic Mysterio, or Dom screws over Finn. You have Finn and Dom at Mania. Break them away. Finn wins the title away from Dom. Boom, at WrestleMania. He gets his Mania moment. And then eventually we build him up as a mid-card, as the mid-card champion. Eventually we go to next year's Mania. Maybe we get a Demon versus somebody.
in Saudi Arabia.
In Saudi Arabia, because who doesn't want to see the demon in Saudi Arabia? Because apparently the Saudis, oh no, how dare you show a woman's arm? But Bray Wyatt's decapitated head is okay. A demon is okay. The dead man coming there is okay. Okay. So I think that that's what we should do. I think that's what we're going to do, is that we are going to see Punk retain this. Inevitably, fine. I'm okay with that. But what you should do is finally break him away from the Judgment Day going in to Mania. Finn and Dom put on a stellar match, and then that's the desecration of the Judgment Day. Because, sorry, Finn's the only original member of the Judgment Day left, and after Liv and Dom break away, then you give Dom his babyface run, and you just let him go wild.
Yes.
I think that's what you do, and I think that's the only answer here.
I think that's where they're going to be going. That's where they're going to be taking this. I think we're going to be getting that Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor match at Mania this year for the Intercontinental Championship, and Balor's going to take it from Dom, and then that will lead to Dominic going babyface, because he's over with the crowd, though. I mean, he got heat from the crowd, but as it progressed, now you hear everybody cheering for Dom because they're doing that dirty, dirty Dom.
Because it's fun to boo him. It's fun to boo him live. When we're watching him at home, though, everybody besides my grandma actually likes him. My grandma, anybody she doesn't like on the TV, she takes it as real. So, but this next match, Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Kiana James, and Raquel Rodriguez in the Women's Elimination Chamber match.
I think this is going to open the show.
I believe so as well.
And it was really surprising last week on SmackDown that Kiana James won. I like that they're giving new up-and-coming stars a chance to be in a certain match like this.
Like a Trick Williams and Javon Evans.
Yeah, which we will get to.
Yep.
I like that they're doing this and not having, the typical, Charlotte Flair being in the chamber, or as you would say, Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Like those certain superstars that, that they've been in more of these matches than any of the new up and coming stars. So I was glad that Kiana James ended up winning last week on SmackDown in her qualifying match. Get some fresh new faces in a certain match like this. This match, I think it's going to be okay. I don't see it being a fantastic match. I mean, you got Tiffany Stratton and you got Rhea Ripley in there. Like I said, Kiana James, Raquel Rodriguez. The two big women that stand out here are Tiffany Stratton and Rhea Ripley. I will have to say my prediction for this match is that it's going to be Tiffy time. It's going to be Tiffy time.
I agree.
Winning this match here.
I fully agree. I don't think that Rhea's winning this. Bliss definitely isn't winning this. Asuka isn't in a place where she deserves it right now. Kiana James, they're putting her in a place where they want her to be a big deal. She's good on the mic and she's good in the ring.
And she just came up to the main roster, so they're not going to give her that, quickly.
No. Raquel. Okay. I think what you should have done here is you should have taken Asuka out. I think that you should have put in Jordan Grace. I think that would have been a better option. Make her a monster.
Which they're doing terribly creative with her, Jordan Grace.
My thing is, why are you putting Rhea Ripley in here? Bliss isn't in a storyline where she needs this right now. They're still in the Charlotte tag feud, which apparently from the rumors going around, it's going to be Charlotte and Alexa hosting again. So that's going to be fun. Whoopee.
Going to be hosting the Chamber?
No.
WrestleMania.
Mania.
Oh God.
That's what I've seen multiple sites reporting. I don't know if it's true.
I hope not.
I don't want to host.
I hope not.
But I think it's going to be Tiffany Stratton. I think that's your only option. What I would have preferred is you did something like a Jordynne Grace, because you're setting up Jordynne Grace and Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill does not have a lot of matches on SmackDown.
And she hasn't defended that title in months.
So, and she's not very good on the mic. She's decent in the ring. You're making her a big deal than she actually is because she was a bodybuilder. I'm sorry, no one gives a fuck about the bodybuilder. We only cared because you got her from AEW, where they just screwed her up. Yes, you got her more training. Yes, you got her to go to promo classes. But that doesn't mean that she's improved barely at all, because
she still feels like how she was in AEW in the ring.
What I think is really hurting these new stars, except for like a Hayes and Evans and Williams, they had house shows. They had the NXT house shows. They were on TV every week having matches. They have the Performance Center. Jade Cargill didn't have that. She premiered right on the main roster. She got no introduction to the audience unless you watch AEW, which, if you know the feuds, you are either a WWE fan or you're an AEW fan. Very few people actually sit down and watch both.
Like me.
Right now, I am neither. Because I think both are pretty bad.
In storytelling and creative wise.
Now, the wrestlers there, great. But on storylines, they're telling, the TV ratings are slipping, the excitement, the ticket prices. Oh my God, the ticket prices. Which
we will get to that
in just a minute. But did you see what a row one ticket for the Chamber was?
It was probably maybe about like $2,000, $4,000.
$13,000.
What?
For a fucking first row front seat, row one, seat 4.
Who would even pay $13,000 for what? Maybe this will be a subpar show.
Maybe, but people are paying it. People are slowly paying it. But you gotta watch the tickets go down in price. Because there's only I haven't been to a show since 2018. Okay? I haven't been since 2018. I had tickets to the Extreme Rules in 2021.
It's going on 8 years for you.
8 years for me. What they're doing right now doesn't want to make me fork out $100 for a subpar seat. Because Columbus, I'm sorry, it's been months since they've been in Columbus. And they just announced their May and June dates. No Ohio. A lot of it is on the West Coast, which is fine. Doesn't bother me any because it saves me money.
Now, I remember when Raw came to Ohio, I was like, oh, are you going to go to the show? And you were like, nope, Cena was not on the show.
And look what happened.
Mm-hmm.
They announced that Cena was not going to be there. The show was subpar. Nobody cared. It was silent. People were pissed because if you've been in Columbus, Ohio, when Cena comes out, it's pretty damn loud. It's very loud. That when it was his red shirt, his purple and yellow shirt, that's all you saw in that arena was the purple and yellow shirts. That's why I call Ohio Cena country, specifically Columbus, because it's a family-oriented area. Kids love it.
And also the biggest fan over here.
And I am the biggest John Cena fan. If he would have been there, oh hell yeah.
Without doubt,
I would have easily forked out $140, $150 for a shit seat just to see him one more time. Now, I'm not even paying $50 for this. I wouldn't even pay you. You would have to pay me to go to this show. If this was in Columbus, I have no interest in going to this show live, to this specific show.
Your arena is a nationwide arena, right?
Yeah. Well, there's two of them. There's the Nationwide Arena and there's the Schottenstein Center, which is literally like just a few miles away. The Nationwide Arena is the bigger arena, but I've been to the Schott twice. Once for wrestling. The other times it's been at Nationwide because my family knows that area. We know where we're going because it's literally a big building that says Nationwide, and then it's literally right across the street is the arena, and we're like, okay, there. But the Johnson Center, if you don't know the Ohio State College area, it's I shit you not. Ready? Here's the Schottenstein Center. There's parking here.
Mm-hmm.
The baseball stadium's right here.
So they're right next to each other.
It's right here. It's right in that campus.
Wow. So
literally not even 5 minutes away from the Schottenstein. No, 2 minutes away. 2 minutes away. I got out of my car with my father to go to a concert at the Schottenstein Center. We parked right by the baseball stadium and we walked 2 minutes right up the sidewalk and we were right at the Schottenstein Center. That's how far away it is. 2 minutes.
That's not bad.
Big arena, good parking, but for wrestling, I'm not going to pay this type of money to go to wrestling now, specifically when they're going with this type of a card. But we're going with Tiffy. This next one, I hate to tell you,
this is going to be the main event.
There's no other choice. It's Cody.
It is Cody. Yeah, Randy Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, Jey Uso. How much you want to bet we're going to get a run it back with Jey Uso on top of the chamber pod?
100%. And he was literally asked that on an interview. Are you going to run it back in the chamber? And he says, if the fans want it, yes. No, it's not. If the fans want it, it's not. If the fans want it,
it's what you want it.
Oh no, it's what they want backstage. Because if you do this, if you do that, the fans are going to go nuts. Because I haven't been there when they've had the Yeet Fest. I haven't been there. I'm sure it's a ball.
I have not done it.
But there's multiple times where I'm watching the show and I'm like, we've been yeeting for 10 minutes. Get on with it. And he's talking for like 2 minutes, and then that's the segment. Cody's your only option here. Orton makes no sense. Knight, Javon, Trick, and Jay, no sense. We know it's going to be Cody because they're setting up Cody and Drew for the title.
Another Drew and Cody match.
Which that's fine because at least this build between them has been pretty good. At least Drew's putting in work. Cody is putting in work. What they're doing with Jacob, I don't know. I don't think that you should do a one-on-one match because I think what you should do is shock the world. I think you have Jacob Fatu win the title at Mania. I think that would be the best option. Have him pin Drew. Cody doesn't take the pin. Yes, he loses. But what are they inevitably going to do?
Now you think that they might do a triple threat? Cody, Drew, and Jacob Fatu?
At this point, yes, because Jacob, they haven't announced who attacked him yet.
Yeah, they still have, no creative around that, still
exactly.
Currently.
So I think what you should do is this. If I was booking the show, if I was booking it, have it stay revealed until the SmackDown after. Fatu wins the title. Then it's revealed that Cody did it. Then you turn Cody heel there. I think you turn Cody heel then. Because babyface Cody, yes, the kids love him, da 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 da, great. The kids aren't your target audience anymore. This isn't the Vince McMahon era. Vince liked to send the families and the kids home happy. WWE now doesn't do that. They do very, 100 TKO once.
Yeah, and they're very safe. They're playing it very safe now.
And sure, we've gotten a couple of shocking things here and there, but it's not like you're sitting there, you're like, oh, who's gonna win this Rumble? Oh, look, it's Liv Morgan. Yay! Great. If you wanted to do it the smart way, you would have had the IC titles stay on Maxine and had it be Natty and Maxine for the IC title.
Oh my God.
And have it mean something, because then you give Stephanie and Becky a match at the Rumble. Becky wins the title. Then you get AJ and Becky at Mania for the women's title. That makes sense. IC title, not as prestigious. Maybe AJ doesn't want a world title because of her age. Maybe she doesn't want it because she's a part-timer. Maybe.
I see that.
But I don't know. This whole card feels just thrown together, except for Cody. For Punk and Finn. That's the only match where I'm actually a little bit interested in, because I know it's going to be good. I know it's going to be good.
I think that might be the best match of the night.
If they give the title to AJ, fine. But then what's your creative direction for Mania? A rematch with Becky and AJ? Another rematch?
Yeah, it doesn't sound too interesting.
But I personally think that you should go with, if I was booking the show and you didn't have any creative direction for the show, what I would do is I would have done a fatal four-way for the title. I think that I would have done Jacob Fatu, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre. Because you had a feud setting up between Orton and Drew. You also have some tension between Cody and Randy. You have feuds fuming between all of them, and they're just sizzling right now. They're waiting to be capitalized upon, but they're not doing that.
It's it's ice cold.
Yeah. So right now, here's our predictions. Michael thinks it's going to be AJ winning. I think it's going to be Becky. We both know that Punk, Tiffany, and Cody are winning. There's our predictions.
Yeah.
And
if Becky retains, I have no problem with it. We're gonna get another rematch with the both of them at Mania. If that happens, if Becky retains, we're gonna have a rematch at Mania. AJ's gonna win the title at Mania, and AJ will get her WrestleMania moment in a decade.
Yeah, and if we get AJ winning it, what do you do? Do you do a women's ladder match for the IC title? I mean, you don't have a lot of build. The only person that AJ's even had an interaction with in a match is Becky. That's really it. No. She was in War Games. In War Games, fine, but that wasn't a proper feud. That was to get her hands on Becky. It's all been about Becky since her return. But yeah, let's move on to the next topic, which is going to be.
Okay. We'll talk about AJ Styles re-signing with WWE. This will be a quick. This will be a very quick, thing to talk about here. So apparently, yesterday it was confirmed that AJ Styles has now re-signed with WWE. And he is officially retired from the ring. Mm-hmm. And he signed a new deal. And quite frankly, I think that WWE gave him this new deal so he wouldn't compete anywhere else, whether it's in Japan or in AEW, because there were rumors saying that, AJ could go to AEW have some dream matches with Will Ospreay, or have a certain reunion with the Bucks, because those are his good friends.
Yep.
But apparently that's not going to happen here. So it says right here, WWE will be he will contribute to WWE in the behind the scenes role in talent development on the new deal, or it might possibly a coach at the Performance Center, which I think that is going to benefit Styles really well in training new talent, or searching for new talent. I think that will bode best for him, especially coming off of him being inducted into the Hall of Fame. At least he'll get to do some stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah, and I think he will be. I'm going to take a leap here. He's probably going to be a producer on NXT and start producing matches, because Sean can only do it for so long. I mean, Sean can only do it at this pace, one show a week for a little bit. I think this is a good option. From what I read and heard, he told his good buddy Carl Anderson that he had a lot of neck pain and a lot of neck issues, so it was best for him to just hang it up. I don't think he had any interest in going to another company, because if he did it, they weren't going to give him a 1-year deal. It was going to be a 3-year deal. He said he wanted to not hit 50. And he's heading towards that age right now. If he went to AEW, you know what's going to happen? Look what they did with the people that they stole.
He's just going to feel like everybody else on that roster. Look at Tommaso Ciampa. They brought in Ciampa to AEW, won the TNT Championship, and then he lost it in 2 weeks. I'm like, already Tony Khan has given up on Ciampa? I'm like, really? You bring him in, you have him win the title on AEW Collision, only to have him 2 weeks later lose the title. And I'm like, what happened?
That's why I don't watch AEW. That's why I don't watch it. But with Styles, I think what would have ended up happening is we would have had a Christian, an Adam Cole, a Edge scene where he's injured and he takes more time off than he's actually in the ring, because look at what they do with their legacy stars. Sting got injured multiple times at his age. They just don't care about the safety and legacy of their stars at all. I will give the AEW credit here. They are more trying to build the younger stars with an MJF, a Hangman Adam Page. At least they're trying to give us younger stars. But what's ending up happening is you're fumbling your major stars who should be a major deal, like an Ethan Page. And look what he's done with NXT.
And he just lost the title on Tuesday.
In a magnificent match. And after having it for a long time, he didn't do any of that in AEW because you never gave him a shot.
Yeah, they never did. They didn't do nothing with him in AEW.
They literally care about a few stars and that's it.
And there's no storylines there in AEW.
Exactly.
They're just like, let's have a random match here. No stories. Let's just go out there and put on a show for everybody to enjoy.
And why am I going to sit down there and watch this show if there's no storylines? I don't care about just a match for a match. If I want to see violence, I'll watch a movie. Or I'll watch a GCW match. Because that's what they're for. If I want a bloody match, which most of those people touch one thing and they bleed down their forehead and down their face, all across their body, it doesn't matter. Everybody does. Everybody. One chair shot and they're bleeding. That's not my type of wrestling. It is an alternative. It's nice if you want alternative. I want alternative. I also want storylines.
Same. And it's not like, you have to see blood or using
Every
weapons
week.
in every single match.
Yeah, and every week.
Every week. That would get tiring.
Now, I will. Well, we're going off on a side tangent, but with him going to stay with the WWE, I think this is the better option. One, for the WWE, because at least he can teach younger stars, recruit younger stars, and maybe be a producer. And at some point down the line, if he wants to be a producer up there with his friends, Rude and Chris Parks.
Yeah.
I'm glad I remember his name. I almost want Abyss because that was who he was anyways. But still, with Rude and Chris Parks, I think that is where he wants to go eventually. This is a good start for him. And he can still get in the ring and do some stuff like a lockup and run the ropes. But he's not going to do any of like the high rope or ladders or chairs or tables or anything like that anymore. He's going to teach you how to take a bump, but he's not going to do any of like the dangerous moves that he did anymore because his body at his age just can't do it, even in his peak form.
True.
But that will take us into our final topic, which is
now before we get into the final topic, we forgot to mention. What do you think? Who do you think is in the crate in WWE that's going to be debuting in Elimination Chamber? Because a lot of people say it's going to be Chris Jericho. There's been reports saying, "Oh, it's not going to be Chris Jericho," and some people have been spotting this stuff around, saying, "Oh, it could be Jericho's coat inside the crate, or it could be Danhausen popping out of the crate. Danhausen probably signing with WWE."
That's what I'm going with because Jericho still has tour dates. He has
his contract. I think Tony Khan freezed his contract.
Yeah, he did, which fucks over him. And I'm sure that Chris is not happy about that because, yes, he's being paid. He's being paid, but he's not on TV. He's not wrestling. He's told you he doesn't. He said he wants to go back to the WWE and end his run there.
Yeah, and get that Hall of Fame induction.
Exactly.
I mean, he's 55 years old. He's not going to be competing in the ring, that much longer. I mean, if you want to say Ric Flair, look how long Ric Flair competed in the ring. At that age.
But with Chris though, at least he's only like it once a week, and it's mostly in a tag team match form. And at least with a Chris Jericho, you don't have to have him wrestle every week.
No,
because he has the mic skills where he can carry a feud with only having one match every 3 weeks to a month. I think that's it. I mean, my God, look at the list gimmick. How many times did he actually wrestle on Raw and SmackDown with that list gimmick?
A lot.
But without it, he wrestled more because he was the mouthpiece. He has a mouth on him. He knows how to cut promos. And what he wants to do, I think, is he probably wants to still do Fozzy. I think he wants to be a WWE producer backstage. I think he wants to do that.
Or they could bring him in, have him be a authority figure on TV. Have him be like, if they do like a storyline with Adam Pearce, or like if he doesn't want to be the general manager anymore, if they find a new general manager, have Jericho be the new general manager.
Could, but I think that he wants to do a 1-year deal and then retire. I think he wants to fully retire unless he wants to do a 3-year deal and retire in 2029, which you technically could do that because that would be his 30th year with the WWE. So that would be something. But I think your smartest option and the one that makes the most sense is going to be Danhausen because, again, with his character can actually get away with being in the box for 2 weeks because he's crazy. He's not actually human.
We're going to get a lot of
exactly
that.
And if they do anything else, I think it's stupid because the box, it was intriguing when it started. I mean, you had a date on it.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have put like random letters across it, I think what they should have done is made a white and black box and had letters all over it.
Or
Because
have
at
like a
least
certain,
you would have had a code tease
yeah,
for
like
the
that,
code.
or like an Easter egg type of thing there.
And with the black and white, at least you had a little bit of a hint with Danhausen. Instead, they're not giving you any hints, which is fine. If you shit the bed, you shit the bed. If it's somebody who is already with the company, that's going to be stupid. If it's somebody or something, I mean, look what they did with what's in the bag. What's in the bag? That was a bunch of shit. If they're doing this with the box, I'm hoping something is actually in the box that's worth it, or somebody. Hopefully somebody, not something, because somebody makes a lot more sense because it's a pretty huge human-sized box.
They're going to try to pull the whole gobbledygooker shtick.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be Danhausen. I think that's your better option. With Chris still under the AEW thumb, Danhausen isn't signed anywhere. I think he's your best option. It's going to be a comedy gimmick, which is fine. Give him a gimmick where he wrestles. Yes, he actually shows his talents, but he's not going to be a upper carder or a main eventer. I think he's a pretty standard. I wouldn't say a jobber. I think I could see him being in like a mid card, but he's not going to be a jobber. I don't think he's going to be like a Otis type.
Yeah.
Just because he's literally too talented to do that. But yeah.
I actually met Danhausen at Comic-Con last year. He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice guy.
But that will take us into our final segment.
Which we got a lot to say about this. We got a lot to say about this this final topic here. WrestleMania 42 plans up in the air after disappointing ticket sales. Now, this report came out a few weeks back, and when I saw this, I'm like, all right, I had to send it to Noah. I'm like, we have to discuss this on the show because a lot of people have been talking about the ticket sales and the plans up in the air for WrestleMania 42, where I think they had a card set in stone, but after seeing the disappointing ticket sales, that made them go back and probably change a few stuff, probably change up the card.
What's been the hardest thing is with all their injuries, but we'll get into that in just a minute.
So it says WrestleMania 42 from Allegiant Stadium, Vegas is just 2 months away. It's reported that ticket sales for the event have been underwhelming. Last year, WWE sold nearly 60,000 tickets on both Saturday and Sunday of WrestleMania 41. But this April's event had only sold 36,000 tickets each for night 1 and night 2. Last week, the winner of the 2026 Royal Rumble, Roman Reigns, challenged CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship at Mania. But according to Dave Meltzer, the rest of the card for the show is uncertain due to poor ticket sales. Meltzer said before the Rumble, they had a complete card for WrestleMania. Everything is up in the air. So the card was finalized. So Meltzer ends up going on to say that they're very disappointed with the advance. It's down about 18% from last year at the same time. I think they'll still fill it, but they are disappointed. The problem is that they think that changing the card that nobody knows, because literally people only know one match. So changing the card, it's not like if they have a bad card out there and people aren't buying tickets. If that was the case, yeah, sure. Thinking about changing the card, they don't have a card out there. So there's been a lot of internal criticism of Paul Levesque as far as keep changing the plans, essentially like Vince McMahon. So he's comparing Triple H, doing all this like Vince McMahon, how Vince used to change the card all the time. So normally when Vince was in charge, like on a Monday Night Raw, they would change the card an hour
before it went on the air.
An hour before it went on the air. So Meltzer added that the rumored matchup between Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed WWE Championship at WrestleMania is not confirmed, and that plans for Reigns versus Punk is the only match WWE has no interest in changing. So that's the only match that they have no interest in changing. And so it says opinion here, why ticket sales are down for WrestleMania 42 and how could WWE sell more seats? WrestleMania 41 benefited from having John Cena main event in night 2 and rumors of The Rock appearing at the show, while this year some of that star power is lacking, in addition to wrestling fans and pundits being critical of the current product. You know, we're not afraid to disagree with that. It's no secret that many have grown unhappy with WWE's creative direction, including Reigns, who went viral after claiming the company hadn't evolved in 2 years ahead of the Rumble. And with the cheapest ticket available being $266.80 for WrestleMania 42, fans who agree with the OTC may feel that it's not worth it to purchase a seat. He's not wrong about that. So how can WWE turn things around within the next 2 months? The most likely option would be to scrap plans and book the biggest matches possible on paper, which could be the current direction based on Meltzer's report. Otherwise, with rumors of Stone Cold Steve Austin appearing in the near future, WWE could rely on some of its legends to get involved at WrestleMania 42 or give a last-minute call to The Rock in order to boost sales. Yeah, I highly doubt The Rock is going to come. No. After last year, where we all expected The Rock to be there, he wasn't. However, outside of disappointment towards creative, fans seem to be the most displeased with the pricing of all events, which has increased due to the promotion's partnership with TKO.
Yep.
Therefore, it remains to be seen if WrestleMania 42 marks a breaking point for WWE fans who are starting to put their foot down when it comes to ticket prices. And a lot of this information in this article is true. The ticket prices are simply outrageous. Mm-hmm. You could put the blame on WWE and TKO for all this, because the only people that could go to these events are the people who are probably rich, have, good jobs, that work maybe 2 jobs that could afford going here. And the only option for people that, don't have that kind of money are people that have to purchase a ticket to want to go to shows and sit up in the higher ups, which are terrible seats. Trust me, I sat for my first Monday Night Raw in Barclays Center. It was the first time I went to a WWE show, and that was back in 2013. I went there, and me and a friend, we waited out there to get tickets, and we did not know it was going to be higher up seats. So sitting up there, you couldn't even see anything. It made it look like the superstars in the ring were like ants.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was like, after that, it was my first WWE show. I'm like, yeah, I'll try better. And now every time I've been to a WWE show, always seat lower bowl seating.
Exactly.
I think that's the best choice to do it. But now those lower bowl seats are
hundreds
more in price.
Hundreds of dollars. Here's my thing, right? When I went to my first show in May of 2009, you had to order your tickets over the phone. Over the phone. And they shipped you the tickets. And we spent like $53 a piece, and we sat in the lower bowl. First time at 10 years old. Great. The issue is now a nosebleed seat won't even cost you $50. And if you, sure, a nosebleed seat all the way up in the top of the fucking ring in the whole arena is going to be $45.
It's not worth it.
Here's what they could do to really boost up some interest. Ready?
Good.
I think what you should do is you should do a breakup angle with Rhea and Io, have a grudge match, and have them have a violent altercation match at Mania. There's one. Cody, Jacob, Drew. There's two. My thing is, what else do you do with everybody else? Because Hayes is a good wrestler, but he's stuck in a feud with Miz. He's stuck in a feud with pretty much nobody besides Miz, because the Miz has been the thorn in his side for a while. And the only feud that he actually had was Dragunov. And even that was a friendly feud. That was two friends just going at it.
And that was a great match. That was a fantastic match.
See? That's the thing. They're not doing anything with the stories. I'm not interested in Jade. I'm not all that interested in Jade. Yeah. I'm not interested in Jade. I'm not all that interested in Becky and AJ because I've seen it. This will be the third or fourth time that we've seen them fight each other in a match. I think what they should do is re-scrap everything, because what they're doing now with Brock Lesnar is stupid as well, because we have his appearance list. What is this? The John Cena Year 2 retirement tour, this time with Brock Lesnar? Who's going to challenge him? I'm sorry. Have him fucking talk instead of just
having Paul Heyman do all the talking.
He's literally standing there, and I'm sick and tired of having Paul Heyman be the advocate, be the oracle, and be the wise man. He's all three.
And can you agree that was a waste of time of having Brock Lesnar be on Raw on Monday, where he's just like sitting there, like he's just standing there looking pretty, like
exactly.
That's what you fly Brock Lesnar out to do.
And he's being paid more money than we'll ever see just to stand there and jump up and down and shake his man boobs. That's all he's doing, is standing there, and that's all he does. That's all he does.
I was waiting for him to slip again on the stage.
I think he would have preferred that, or fucking split his pants again. Split your shorts again, motherfucker. Here's the thing: you're not doing anything with the product. That's the issue. You're so honed in on Roman Reigns being in the main event. We've seen that multiple years now.
Yeah,
it's hot and old.
I'm like, how many times they got to give Roman the WrestleMania main event?
I think there was multiple other places that you could have went. I think you could have done an LA Knight and Punk match. Have Knight be a standard babyface. Don't have Punk turn. Just a grudge match, because they don't like each other. They don't like each other at all. Last year, at least you had a interesting storyline with Knight, an interesting storyline with Punk. 2 years ago, you had a really good moment at WrestleMania 40 with Punk screwing over Drew,
which I was there for, and that crowd popped.
It worked
like hell
because you set up good storylines. This time, there's no good storylines for Mania. I'm sitting there, I'm watching all the segments, and I'm like, I'd rather be watching the 10 o'clock news than watching Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown.
You know, I feel like after WrestleMania 40, they've done nothing to hype up WrestleMania.
And they've shit the bed last year by trusting that The Rock would be there, because if The Rock would have been there, sure, the Cena run would have been a little bit different. It would have been a lot more different.
And you know where The Rock was? He was just laying on his hammock.
Exactly. Laying on his hammock and fingering himself. That's what he was doing. With the hundreds of dollars, just jerking off with Benjamin Franklin. That's what he was doing.
Then not appearing at WrestleMania.
He wasn't WrestleMania. He wasn't even near Mania. WWE is down this rabbit hole of stuck on Roman, stuck on uninteresting feuds. What got you through last year was Cena. Mm-hmm. Everybody was like, Cena's going to break the record Then you turned him heel. Okay, fine.
Can you believe it's going to be a year already?
Exactly.
Jeez.
And granted, we used to look forward to Raw and SmackDown every week.
Yeah.
Back at WrestleMania 40 time frame, you were interested every damn week because every storyline had something, except for the Jay and Jimmy feud. That was
terrible.
But granted, every big card has that one. Just let me go pee for just like 4 minutes to get there.
And you know what that got?
And I'll wash my hands, and then I walk down, and it's a 10 to 15 minutes, and the match is already over. Great. So I missed nothing. I went pee, and I got me a drink, and I got me a box of popcorn or a $17 fucking hot dog, which is stupid. But anyways, I think they need to scrap everything.
Start over from scratch,
which they can't do now. They literally can't do it because your main event's already locked in. Apparently, because
your Punk and Roman match is already locked in. That's going to main event night too.
Yeah, and if they're going to do Drew and Cody, they say it's not locked in. What else are you going to do? Introduce Jacob Fatu? Fuckers, you've already done that. You can't really do that again. You can't bring anybody else in that's going to matter.
It's going to be absolutely pointless if they introduce Jacob Fatu again.
And I'm going to say this too, because you've seen it, I've seen it. They're going back to Vegas. Vegas has so much other stuff to do besides going to WrestleMania. I'm sorry. If I'm going to Vegas, I'm sure as fuck not going to Mania.
I'll go gamble. I'll go to the Sphere, check out a show.
Do you want to know what I would be going and doing? 3 things. If I'm going to Vegas, I'm going to see the Wizard of Oz in the Sphere. And guess what? If we went together, you and I, it's $118 a ticket. We would be spending less money
than going to Mania.
2 tickets to the Sphere than 1 ticket for Mania.
And plus, we'll be watching a masterpiece of a film.
And we will be watching the masterpiece of a film in a once-in-a-lifetime experience in the Sphere in Las Vegas. Another thing, I'd be going to see Hell's Kitchen. And I would be going and seeing some sort of a show. Do I need to stay at the most extravagant hotel? Hell no. I think you are allowed to walk into the hotels and look around. Look in the casinos. Walk around the casinos.
I'll go to the Strip.
That's fine. Oh, dude, me, you, and the whole crew in the fucking, man, that Strip would be all kinds of fucked up. we get in so much trouble. It wouldn't even be funny, man. And Alex would be available right there because he's not too far from there. All of us fuckers together. Oh shit! Imagine all the fun that we would have. But we would spend less money.
Exactly.
Than this. And here's what they're not incorporating either. Ready? $266 per night at WrestleMania. Yeah. So if you want to go, that's over $525 to $35. Then you have your hotel. Then you have your food. Then you have your merch. Then if you're not from around there, if you're not on the West Coast, you and I have to fly there. So there's a flight there and a flight back.
Yeah.
And
that's
Ubering.
Yes.
And Ubering from here and there. So that's at least, if you're going to WrestleMania for a nosebleed seat for both nights, $266 times 2. I'm not doing math off the top of my head, but it's somewhere around like $570, $80 per person. On top of your cheap ass roach infested $8 room. Okay, fine. But then you're paying $8 for pizza, for a slice of pizza. If you want to gamble, you're going to go to gamble. But you know what you and I would do? We're going to all the cheap ass stuff, the meet and greets, the cheap Vegas shit, because all the indie stars are going to be there. AEW stars are going to be
Yeah.
in Vegas around that area.
And hell,
doing
you could
indie
go
shows.
to instead of going to Mania, you could go to WrestleCon.
And
You
WrestleCon.
could go to any indie show there.
Exactly. You could go to all the meet and greets and meet people and spend less money than you would at WrestleMania. That would be more fun. And a lot cheaper than going to WrestleMania. I don't care about Mania this year. I literally don't care. If I'm scheduled to work when the show is starting, if I have to work until like 6 or 7 o'clock,
on
fine.
the 18th, on April 18th and 19th.
I really don't care. I don't care. I'm sitting there. And the only reason that I would be remotely interested is if they give me a reason to be. They haven't given me any interest at all since Cena retired. Since Cena retired, the only interesting thing that happened is AJ Styles going to retire. That's it. That's all they've done. And sure, they've been trying, but with what you've been giving us, there's nothing to latch onto. There's nothing to latch onto at all.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing. And hell, I'm even afraid about how WrestleMania is going to be next year in Saudi.
I don't think I'm going to care anymore about that one, unless they're actually going to bring out the big guns, because apparently there's a lot of talk of massive stars and massive matches that are locked in already, because I think they're just banking on multiple legends wanting to come back for one more match.
It's whatever
I think they're banking on Rock and Stone Cold, maybe Undertaker. I mean, if Undertaker shows up there, the place is going to go insane. And the sad thing is, it's going to be cheaper to go to WrestleMania over there in Saudi than it is to go here. Well, dude, we've gone on a lot longer than we thought we would, and my computer is literally about to die because my screen just went dim.
Yeah, we are pretty much done with this episode. But those are our thoughts on the WrestleMania 42 plans up in the air, and our chamber predictions, and Styles resigning with the Styles resigns with the company. But anyway, that's it for episode 14 of the Bell Call podcast. Thank you all for watching and tuning in. Hopefully, Chamber will be okay show tomorrow. But like me and Noah said, we're not excited for it. But let's hope that WWE delivers something. But Noah, if you want to promote your channel and stuff, go right ahead.
You can find me at Noah Kaser on YouTube. Noah Kaser. I just hit 1,300 subscribers, and I'm not doing long-form videos as much anymore. I'm mainly focusing on YouTube Shorts because that's getting more views. But I'm going to bring back longer-form content. But my main focus right now is the Heartful of Hallmark podcast YouTube channel. Check us out. We just hit 126 subscribers. We have a lot more interviews planned down the line, and I'm trying to set up some stuff that's pretty huge, but it takes time, it takes effort, and me and Kirsten both have lots of other things going on with work, life, everything, but our focus on the podcast has not gone anywhere. Check us out, Noah Kaser and Heartful of Hallmark podcast.
There you go. So, guys, check him out. Does a lot of great videos. Also, subscribe to Hearts of Hallmark podcast channel. As yours truly, you can find me here, Michael101591. Do WWE reviews, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, maybe occasionally haven't reviewed SmackDown in a while because that show's 3 hours and it's like a chore to review after watching the show for 3 hours. I do movie reviews, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K updates, which I just uploaded one the other day, so check that out. Also, tomorrow will be the debut of my new series called Saturday Morning Rewind, which will be all about, Saturday morning cartoons. I'll show a whole lineup of cartoons. We actually have three cartoons in store, and you're going to be seeing original commercials as well. So that's going to be coming up tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern. Why not best to debut it on Saturday mornings?
Exactly.
So check out that. And like always, me and Noah will see you all on the next episode, which will probably be in like two weeks tops, maybe, depending on our schedules. So until then, we'll see you all later.
for this episode of the Bell Call Podcast. And make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's next in the world of professional wrestling. Find the full live shows on YouTube at Michael101591 and Noah Kaser. Until next time, for Michael and Noah, thanks for tuning in. The bell may ring, but the conversation never stops.